Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we examined Half Moon Street where the murder occurred, and we took the statement of the gentleman by the name of Ryan Turner, ripped it apart and discovered that he stole something. He stole a bracelet with two ram heads that was part of a Hellenistic collection. We had to do some research on that, which was very finicky because we had to look for the bracelet, but it was in a report like underneath
my archive.
The topic
always consult with it if needed.
Architecture or encyclopedias under architecture and the British Museum. Just British Museum something was what the article was called. And which I thought that was bullshit because in underneath newspapers there was clearly something about the Hellenistic stuff being stolen. I had to click my way through all of that. I said the F word because I was kind of frustrated. We're gonna go to the pawn shop of one of the victims now, because he was involved back then, and we hope that there's going to be something to discover here now. Well, Watson doesn't want to come. This is not a door. This is not a man. Back there's Butlers Pawnshop. This is not a man. This is not a door. Why do I get this long lost art? Loadless, no. Two victims, no. No. You kind of look like Peter Cairn. Oh well. I do have the key.
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly.
Big surprise. Big surprise. He had the key to his own place. Look at all this shit.
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
That's gonna be interesting for climbing something later on. What do we got here? Got glasses, books, left drawer with... that's the ram thing.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
Hello, Kenneth. I remember you once told me about 3 pieces of golden jewelry with ram's heads from ancient Greece. You still got them, right? Well, good news for you. I found a man loaded with money who is crazy about those jewels. He's ready to fork out a small fortune. I can arrange a meeting with this money bag for you, but I want you to cut me in on the deal. I'll be waiting for you at the crossing of Great Alley and Half Moon Street on Sunday evening before the fireworks. Brian Vercati. Boy.
It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations.
Well, let's read through the... Can you not... Alright. Not gonna be able to read through that. Butler's jewels and a long lost art. Oh, come on. What? 2 victims. Burglary motive. The search for the missing Hellenistic treasures could be the motive for the crime that was committed in Half Moon Street. Mr. Turner picked up the bracelet directly after the murder, but the ring is still missing. Robbery. No. That is BS. What else do we have?
A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor.
We have a flare pistol that we can try out with the mirror that was in the street. We're definitely going to do that at some point. What else? And I want to climb up somewhere. Is that it? Is that it? Completed. Solve the crime. Evidence. Talk about that symbol. Okay, that's the only thing I can do at this time. Dude, I've seen you. Exactly you at Half Moon Street. Let's go to Scotland Yard and ask him. I wish I still had some tea remaining, but I don't. It was a mistake. My throat is starting to really hurt. Even though I didn't even record this much today. Alright, little man. Come on, we need to have a chat.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
I would just want to ask him one simple question.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
But you both were Westgate prisoners.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Tell me.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Old acquaintance, latent statements. No, to a victim. No. Are you kidding? What? Personal motive. Ah. The violent crime committed in Half Moon Street by Leighton Chapman could have had a personal motive. Double murder. Good lord. That's not where I wanted to go with this. Like, not at all. What's left? Oh, dang it! I missed a clue. What are we missing? Why do I have the flare? I don't think it is the personal motive. Firing simultaneous shots, what does that cause? Why do I have those climbing things? What did I miss? Look at you.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Marrow. One of the victims possibly fired his gun twice. Find out who it might have been. Select the gunman. Anyone else? Huh. What's up there?
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
One of the victims possibly fired his gun twice. Find out who it might have been. Let's go back to the pawn shop and get those get the climbing stuff. This is a lot of walking back and forth. We're also gonna have to take that flare gun to play around with the mirror that we found. So we're gonna have to go back for that yet again at some point. I hope you're able to pick up that climbing gear. Anything else?
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. He's gotta have something. There's the flare gun. Well, make yourself useful, for Christ's sake. How am I gonna get up there? And why would they have fired twice as well? I don't get that part at all. Is this the same sequence?
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
You want me to talk to Wiggins, don't ya?
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Alright, you're the gunman. And if you shoot twice, I want to go up there. Item required. That's a pole. Take that, pick up the lamp.
This should be useful.
I did not see this pole previously. And then... Oh, you goddamn. Select that. I wish I couldn't... I didn't get stuck on that. You're the gunman. Wanna go up there with a pole. Light up. Light it up. One of the victims possibly fired his gun twice. Oh, that's a gunshot.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Huh. Third shot, 2 victims. Crossfire. Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti both died of crossfire, with each of them holding a gun. One of the guns is now missing. Double murder. Kenneth Butler and Vercotti were the victims of a double murder carried out by one person. Nah. Simultaneous shots. Huh. I think we want to go here again. Because of that cutscene. Let's go to the pawn shop and see what Wiggins says now. Quicker than ever. Alright, Wiggins, what do you got? Another cutscene?
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
I don't think that leads anywhere, actually. Huh.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, make yourself useful, little buddy. What is with that mirror?
Such a young man.
You don't have
and already
anything
a
for me?
murderer.
Are we really just farming up this event? I guess. Kind of a bummer though, don't you think?
Look here, lad. You'd better go home and start thinking about what a fine pickle your brother's landed himself in.
Ha! But he'll be free tonight, 'cause he's innocent.
Don't be daft, lad. It's a closed case.
I don't think that leads anywhere. Solve the crime. I mean, even if the second revolver, if there was a second revolver, are we not supposed to find it? He's examined though. I did that. Or do we have something to say now? Long lost art? Third shot, latent statements? Ah. Disappearing man, latent Chapman's statement regarding the jacketed man who disappeared at Half Moon Street now seems reasonable, as the 3 shots at the crime scene prove the presence of a second gun that is now missing. Reenact Marrow's pursuit with a lamp.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
Doopy doopy doop boop ba doop ba doo. No one here. Pile of sacks. No one there. Sherlock Holmes.
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. He's trying to find another place. Doopy doopy doop boop. Wait. I didn't see him. You said you'd find another place. Where is he at? What?
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Okay, I checked that the first time around. Guess I now gotta do it all the time. Not in this like this little corner. Not here. Could he be trying to hide up top? He couldn't cling to a wall like a spider, right? He wouldn't. Hello.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
Corners in sight. Latent statements. Up the walls! If we can assume that there was one more person in Half Moon Street at the time of the crime, then there was no way forward or back for his escape. Only up. Let's reenact the action, recreate the fireworks described by Layton, and attempt to climb the wall. Finally. But we are not going to do that in this episode. For the moment, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope I will see you in the next one as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.